Hello to everyone, and thank you for coming to our app pitches. Just to reintroduce myself, my name is Stevia, and I'm excited to show you my app called StandBy. So first off, just a little bit about myself. That's me pre-COVID. This was in March, but my name is Stevia Doe, and I'm a recent graduate of Peyton College Preparatory High School in Chicago. On my free time, I enjoy photography, reading, and now coding. I aspire to help my community, and my app tackles one of the many problems I've recognized and wanted to solve. So my app is called StandBy, and it is a free and easy to use app that allows for users to get the help they need without going to the police. Many communities, especially those that are low income or have a high population of people of color, are at a higher risk of police brutality due to the excessive force used by police and the heavy policing within their communities. According to the National Alliance for Mental Illness, or NAMI for short, 15% of men and 30% of women jailed have a serious mental health condition. Instead of getting the medical help that they need in order to get over this mental illness, they are booked into facilities that just worsen their condition. My app has found a way around this problem and allows for users in mental health and/or domestic violence crises to get the help from organizations like the National Alliance of Mental Illness or first responders that are trained in trauma care. So my app has three main uses, as you can see in the first image. There are long-term support services, hotline databases, or an emergency tab that provides immediate and on-site support to those who need it. My app works by using location tracking services to connect a first responder to the user. As shown in the images, the user is also able to chat with the responder, and the responder is able to log on, and alliances such as NAMI or other police forces that are trained specifically in trauma care are able to log on and use their their email within their employment system in order to create an account and connect to people within their area and communities. I hope to continue developing this app to get a better user interface, as I definitely think that my user interface could look a little bit more professional, as well as to lessen the amount of steps that a person in a crisis needs to get help or support from a first responder. So a little bit about what I've learned these past 10 weeks. They've definitely been quite a journey. Obviously, this is our first time in a pandemic, so it's been a very interesting experience for all of us. And I've definitely learned so many things from our coding cohort and ASM launch in general. So first of which is the power of community. Community is such a large part of everything we do, especially in coding, and having people to bounce ideas off of or just helping you improve on new skills, I think is such an important tool. And I've been so lucky to have our coding collective to help me throughout the process of creating and making our apps. Not only is our community a resource, but I've also learned the importance of doing your own research as well as trial and error. In today's world, there's so much information available at our fingertips, and I think oftentimes we feel so alone in the problems that we face, but many times those same problems have been extensively talked about on the internet, and we just have to reach those resources and do some research to make sure that, you know, we're not the only ones facing these problems. And definitely when developing my app, I was able to use the mistakes of others, and they were willing to share their mistakes and tell us how they fixed them, and I used that to apply to my own app, which was really helpful. And knowing that I was going to make mistakes in the first place and being okay with that was really essential to me not completely falling apart when I had a bug or an error in my app. So just remembering that mistakes are a part of the process of creating an app and developing app concepts was a really big part when I was developing and coding my app. And lastly, of course, I learned how to code and the power of technology. I think oftentimes we are taught that if you are in STEM, you're only doing scientific and mathematical things, going to a lab or in a computer lab for like hours on end. But as a student who has a passion for STEM and a passion for art, I always felt so conflicted as to what I was going to devote my time to. But Victoria really taught us that coding is special because there's so much flexibility in coding, and you are really able to make it fun and creative. And I found myself using a lot of the creative skills that I applied to my art and photography into developing my app, which was really cool. And I think next year, when I'm in college or even throughout the duration of my gap year, I want to devote more time to learning how to code and improving on my skills and seeing how I can apply them to my art in the future. So I would just like to thank you all for listening to my app pitch. I hope that you guys enjoy my presentation, and I am open to answering any questions that you have. Thank you.